Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to talk about the fertilization events or how the fertilization occurs. Fertilization. Okay. So this is the heading of our today's lecture. Okay. Fertilization means we all know that fusion of male and female gametes. Okay, male and female gametes. अब here the male gamete is sperm and the female gamete is ovum or egg. Okay, these are the male and female gametes. Now, how the fertilization occurs? There are some steps. The first step is, it occurs in several steps. Okay. The first step towards it is approach of sperm. Okay. Approach of sperm. Approach of sperm means how the sperm is reaching to the egg and how it comes closer to the egg. So here we will write that in one ejaculation approximately 300 million sperms are released in vagina. Okay, this is first point. In one ejaculation approximately 300 million sperms are released into vagina. Now from vagina, how they are able to reach the ovum? The ovum is present in the fallopian tube. Okay, but how they reach to fallopian tube? From vagina, the sperm has to reach the fallopian tube. So they have to cross first the vaginal tract, then they have to cross the uterus, and then they will reach the fallopian tube. Okay, so here 300 million sperms we can highlight that 300 million sperms are released. But so what led them to fallopian tube? So we can write here help to sperm. What are the facilitations which the sperms are getting to reach the vagina for the fallopian tube? So first thing is lashing help to sperm to reach fallopian tube. Okay, help to sperm to reach fallopian tube. First is lashing movement of tail. The tail which is present in the sperm, it moves in a zigzag manner. That's why it moves. It takes it to the fallopian tube. Okay. Second thing is prostaglandins. Okay, prostaglandins. In the what are prostaglandins? It is a type of chemical which is released from the prostate glands. Okay, for prostaglandin, what they do? The prostaglandin which is released into the vagina through semen, it stimulates contraction. It stimulates contraction in vagina. Okay, it stimulates contraction in vagina. And third is aspiratory, or we can say that sucking movement of female reproductive tract. Okay, these are the two very important things. Prostaglandins stimulate the contraction in vagina. Okay, so the vagina will start sucking or start pulling the sperms towards the inner side. Along with this, the lashing movement of the tail. The lashing movement of the tail is also helping the sperms to reach towards the fallopian tube. And the female reproductive tract is also performing the sucking movement, which is pulling the sperms to the inner side. So these are the facilities which the sperm get in the female reproductive tract. But along with these facilities, there are also some type of, what we say, some type of situations which are very dangerous for the life of sperms. And these situations are, what are problems faced by the sperms? Okay, problems faced by sperm in reaching fallopian tube. Okay, the problems faced by the sperm in reaching fallopian tube, first is thick walls of uterus. Okay, we have drawn uterus like this. In the diagram, we have drawn endometrium like this. Okay, in a very simple form, we have drawn endometrium like this. But don't consider that there is an empty space through which the sperm can travel. Don't consider this. Sorry, don't think that this space is empty between the endometrial wall through which the sperm can travel. This is not like this. It is a very thick wall which is providing a very negligible space, very much coiled. Okay, the sperm has to cross these walls. Okay, the sperm has to cross these walls. So this is the first problem or barriers which are faced by the sperm in reaching the fallopian tube. Okay, so this is the first barrier. Second thing which is imposing problem to the sperm is acidic pH of female reproductive tract. Acidic pH in the female reproductive tract is also very dangerous for the life of sperm. And the third very important thing is phagocytic cells of female reproductive tract. In female reproductive tract, there are so many types of phagocytic cells which attack on the sperm, eat them and kills them. So these are the problems which are faced by the sperms, and these are the facilities which sperms get in the female reproductive tract. Okay, note it down. So I hope you all have you all have noted this. Now we are moving to the next step. So now, important thing. Let us consider that the sperm which are released in the vagina have crossed the vaginal tract and also crossed the uterus, and now they have reached to the fallopian tube. Okay. So one important thing that you have to note, that out of the 300 million sperms which are released into the vagina, only 100 sperms reaches to the fallopian tube. Okay. Only 100 sperms reaches to fallopian tube. Okay, this is very important thing. From this line you can understand that the chances of fertilization are quite rare. In order to get a successful fertilization, the sperm count of males should be very high. If the sperm count is less than 140 million sperms, if the sperm count is less than 140 million sperm, then there is a condition of oligospermia. There is a condition of oligospermia in which the sperm count is insufficient to achieve the fertilization. Okay, so only 100 sperms are reaching the fallopian tube. Reaching to the fallopian tube in the female reproductive tract, the sperms undergo certain physiological changes. Okay, before these changes, the sperms are not able to fertilize the ovum. So in order to get functionally active, to achieve fertilization, the sperms undergo certain physiological changes, and this collective changes are known as capacitation. Okay, so what is capacitation? Capacitation means attaining functional maturity by sperms, in female reproductive tract. Okay, attaining functional maturity. Before attaining this functional maturity, the sperms are not able to fertilize the ovum. Okay, so this is the process. Now, how these steps occur? देखिए, सबसे पहले क्या होगा? For example, let us consider this is head of sperm. Okay, this is the tip. Okay, this is the head of sperm and this is tip. There are certain types of glycoprotein. ये membrane है, sperm membrane. This is sperm membrane, and there are certain types of these are membranous glycoproteins. Okay, these are membranous glycoprotein. What happen in vagina or in female reproductive tract? There are certain types of chemicals. Under the influence of chemicals in vagina. Okay, under the influence of certain chemicals in vagina, the membrane proteins are removed from the membrane of the sperm. So this is the membrane of sperm, and membranous proteins removed. What is happening over here? The membranous proteins are attached to the membrane of sperm, and under the influence of certain type of chemicals which are released in the vagina, they are removing these membranous protein. And after this is the first step of capacitation, and the second step of capacitation is after the removal of these membranous protein, there is an influx of calcium dipositive ions. Influx of calcium dipositive ions by sperms make them more active. So this is what actually happening in female reproductive tract. Very important, calcium dipositive ion. So अब आप कहेंगे where these calcium dipositive ions are present? बेटा calcium dipositive ions are present in the female reproductive tract. Okay, so this is what happening in the female reproductive tract under the process of capacitation, after which the sperms are functionally active. Note it down. So this was about the first step of fertilization. I hope you all have understood what I was trying to say in this video. In the next video, we will start to some further topics of fertilization, and then we will move to embryogenesis.